Construction is officially underway at the Thunder Bay Regional Hospital for a new cardiovascular surgery unit. Good evening, I'm Ryan Benazzo. Thank you for joining us. The 76,000 square foot space will allow patients to get urgent procedures here in northwestern Ontario. Due to the construction, there will be some parking restrictions to navigate over the next 3 years. Jessica Clement has the details.
After almost a decade of planning and development, a cardiovascular surgery program is becoming reality at the regional hospital. Officials were showing off construction progress Tuesday morning, joined by hospital leaders, healthcare partners, and community members. The new unit will include 14 surgery inpatient beds, 6 new coronary care unit beds, and a new hybrid operating room. Hospital CEO Rhonda Crocker-Ellicott says the new 76,000 square foot unit will be a game changer in healthcare throughout the region.
It means not traveling outside your region, so families won't necessarily have to, get on a plane and get to Toronto and leave everybody behind. The thought is that you could provide your family network close to home and they would be able to travel to Thunder Bay to provide that supportive care. So, we're really looking forward to being able to bring care closer for some and some at home.
With construction underway, a portion of Ron Saddington Way will be closed. Visitors won't be able to access the hospital's main entrance, however, they will be able to use the west entrance. The pickup and drop-off area has been relocated from the Medical Center Loop to the fish parking lot by the Cancer Center. The Bear Lot will also be closed during this time. Construction is expected to take around 3 years, and Crocker-Ellicott says the new unit won't be accepting patients until spring of 2028.
There's a lot of training and fit up and all of that sort of thing that has to happen. Staff don't just miraculously flip on the lights and then start providing cardiac surgery. So there will be a lot of upfront operational training and mock cases and that sort of thing in order to make sure that we're ready. And when we're ready, we will be providing surgery the same as if we were operating for 10 years.
The province has contributed over $93 million for the construction of the new unit. Thunder Bay Atikokan MPP Kevin Holland says the investment marks a historic moment in northwestern Ontario.
We're going to be able to have this life-saving surgery here in Thunder Bay where family can still be around, loved ones can support the patients, and we don't have to travel those 1,000 kilometers to receive that care. It's really about bringing to Thunder Bay the quality of care that exists across the other regions of the province.
Construction updates and more information about parking at the regional hospital can be found on its website and social media pages. Jessica Clement, TBT News.
The Ministry of Natural Resources is providing some good news about that raging forest fire known as Red Lake 12. Widespread rainfall is helping firefighters keep the edge of the fire about 6 kilometers from Sandy Lake First Nation. The huge blaze has also impacted transmission lines and telecommunications in the far north. Jonathan Wilson has the details.
Red Lake Fire 12 has grown to over 150,000 hectares and forced evacuations, first in Deer Lake, where the fire started on May 27th, and later in Sandy Lake as the blaze spread in that direction. Hundreds of evacuees have been flown to southern Ontario, many of them making temporary stopovers in Thunder Bay. Officials with Wataynikaneyap Power have now confirmed the fire passed over their brand new transmission system in a few areas. The company conducted aerial inspections and found there was no significant damage to the line. Deer Lake and Sandy Lake, which both celebrated their connections to the grid last year, were forced to switch to their backup power supply when the grid connection was lost, but both are now back on grid power. Meanwhile, North Spirit Lake has declared a state of emergency and has called for a full evacuation. Communication infrastructure has been compromised by Red Lake Fire 12, with long-distance calling and internet affected, except for Starlink. The fire is approximately 35 kilometers away from North Spirit Lake, but according to the MNR, the fire has not grown significantly over the last 2 days. Jonathan Wilson, TBT News.
A 44-year-old man has been arrested after a high-risk incident in Katchawenin First Nation. Last night, Treaty 3 police in the Rainy River District responded to multiple reports of a man threatening people with an axe. The situation was brought under control with help from the OPP, and the man was taken into custody. He's charged with 4 counts of assault with a weapon, possession of a weapon for a dangerous purpose, and resisting police. Paramedics around the North Shore have voted 97% in favor of a strike mandate. The vote comes as contract talks move into conciliation this week between Unifor and the City of Thunder Bay, which operates Superior North EMS. Union President Carrie Jefford says they're not looking to go on strike, but the vote sends a clear message about their wages and working conditions.
Their staffing levels are beyond unacceptable. We are in a crisis, and we have been in a crisis for the last few years. It's just getting worse. For example, in the next 6 or 8 weeks, there's over 300 shifts that are not filled.
Unifor represents about 80 to 90 members in places like Nipigon, Marathon, and Greenstone. That bargaining unit doesn't include paramedics in Thunder Bay. Jefford says as recently as today, staffing shortages left 2 smaller communities without an ambulance. And she says the lack of backup for those who are working is weighing down morale. If conciliation fails, Unifor wants to go to binding arbitration, and if the city refuses that, the union could file a no-board report and go on strike 3 to 4 weeks later if a deal isn't reached.
We've been trying very hard to negotiate a settlement. We've reached an impasse several times over the last 4 or 5 months. We've been to conciliation now one time, and we're in conciliation today and tomorrow. Really, what we need to do is negotiate wages and a wage enhancement so that we can recruit and retain medics in the district.
The City of Thunder Bay has issued a statement saying a strike mandate is a routine part of the bargaining process, and the city remains fully engaged in ongoing discussions with union leadership. Premier Doug Ford offered his thoughts on the current state of Canada-U.S. relations yesterday. He says he's hopeful that his government's controversial Bill 5 will help speed up critical mineral projects. He also singled out those who've criticized the legislation. CTV's Siobhan Morris has the story.
Doug Ford was speaking alongside his friend and fellow Premier Tim Houston of Nova Scotia. Both leaders agree that their provinces and the country as a whole need to do more to build more faster to spur economic growth. Ford revealed that his government has done some polling, finding 73% of Ontarians support expediting mining. Now, keep in mind, we don't have all the specifics of this poll. We don't know when it was done, what the margin of error might be. And this comes as 2 First Nations that have signed deals with the government to improve access to the Ring of Fire are speaking out against Bill 5. That includes Arrowland First Nation Chief Sonny Gagnon, who says his community stands with First Nations trying to have Bill 5 thrown out. The Premier has made it sound in recent days like the chief is behind his plan and had some pointed words for him today.
Does he want the $200 million electricity deal that we handed over to him? Does he want to get off diesel because they live on diesel? Does he want a road that they can actually leave their community and drive? Did he want a community center? Does he want a hockey arena inside that community center? The answer is 1,000% yes, because I shook his hand in my office. Mark my words in this room, he will be moving forward with this. Not because of me, not because of pressure on me, because he's a smart man and he understands his community needs to prosper.
The Premier has said he intends to designate the Ring of Fire a special economic zone as quickly as possible, but the next few months for the government will be about consulting with First Nations and stakeholders. Siobhan Morris, CTV News.
The annual Mining Day will return to Marina Park on Saturday. Organizers and city officials were at City Hall today to unveil this year's event and a few things the community can look forward to. The 10th annual event celebrates our region's rich mining history and aims to show attendees how the industry functions. It includes more than 60 exhibits and games which are geared toward high school students but available for anyone to enjoy. Organizers encourage everyone to come to the waterfront this weekend. Event chair Pam Coles says prizes will be given away and this year's amethyst theme perfectly fits the milestone.
It's the 50th anniversary of amethyst being named as Ontario's mineral emblem, and that shouldn't be a surprise to everybody because, you know, there's a bunch of amethyst mines near town, and you see amethyst on everything, right? And one of our partner groups is Women in Mining, so they have a scholarship barbecue down there that they run, and they've been doing that for a very long time as well.
So the barbecue has it's grown over the years. And now we have so many people who sponsor the barbecue itself that pretty much everything we make from sales goes directly into the scholarship program. And it's thanks to that we were able to give away $21,000 this year to 7 deserving kids, or students, I should say. So it's pretty awesome. It's really exciting. Mining is a really diverse industry, and I don't think people really understand all the different roles that go into mining.
Well, that reveal was followed by an official proclamation from Mayor Ken Boschkoff marking June 14th as Mining Day in the city. A flag was also raised in front of City Hall to promote Saturday's event at the marina. Local injury lawyers and brain injury specialists are working together again to prevent the devastation that can be caused by cycling and skateboarding accidents. They stopped by St. Paul Elementary School today to donate 150 bicycle helmets and stress the importance of using them. Ryan Graham reports.
Greeted over 100 students at St. Paul's Gymnasium to hand out free bike helmets and speak to the importance of wearing one at all times when riding. This Bike Helmets on Kids campaign is in its 12th year now in Thunder Bay, with over 2,200 helmets given out at local schools and elsewhere.
So this is all about bike helmet safety. We want every child in Thunder Bay and every person in Thunder Bay who's out there riding their bike this summer to be wearing a bike helmet to keep their head and keep their brain safe. We deal with cases involving cyclists. We see the effects that happen when a person is in an accident and isn't wearing a helmet, and the extra severity to the brain injury and the long-term effects that has on a person's life.
According to the Canadian Institute for Health Information, among the most severe cycling injury admissions to hospitals in the past decade, 78% of those hospitalized with a head injury were not wearing a helmet when their injury occurred. Properly fitted and correctly worn bike helmets can not only prevent injuries, they can save lives.
It's immensely important to be wearing a helmet. It's entirely preventative. Head injuries are a really big public health concern, really. They happen very frequently and they happen very quickly. And it's one thing to suggest that I can ride my bike, I have really great balance, but I think when we start getting into those kind of thought traps, we kind of start to forget about all the things that we can't control.
Students at St. Paul Elementary were very keen to try on their new helmets and take their bikes out for a spin. The teachers were also very grateful for the day's event and know all too well the importance of these kinds of preventative measures.
Our kids are actually extremely active, and they do ride their bikes all the time. They're really excited about this opportunity to get new helmets, and we're really excited about everyone in the community coming in to give us a little demonstration, information, and the free helmets.
With summer holidays now almost here and outdoor recreational activities such as cycling on the rise, the reminder to always wear a helmet when biking is more important than ever. Ryan Graham, TBT News.
Superior High School was alive with music last night as the Sounds of Superior Chorus hosted their annual summer concert called Life in Song. Audiences were treated to a cappella arrangements of classic songs like True Colors, Lean on Me, and When I Lift My Head Up. The concert also featured special guest opera singer Barbara Towell and nearly 40 Sounds of Superior members. Assistant Director Melissa Cook says it's always special to get up on stage with her fellow choristers.
A lot of these women have been singing together for a couple years ago. We celebrated our 50th anniversary. Some people have been singing with the chorus for 50, 40, 30 years. I myself am going on 20 years, which is crazy. But it's nice that we've been singing together for so long. Some of the newer members have just joined, but when you get a group of women together like that and the sound is perfect, it's like everybody's been singing together for years and with that perfect blend.
Proceeds from the concert go directly to Faye Peterson House, a shelter that provides services to women who've been abused. Let's turn our attention to the weather now. And Haley, not a warm day out there today. Still in the comfortable range, I suppose.
Absolutely. I would consider it warm, just not hot. Yeah. We're at 18 for our high, which we're sitting at right now, which is very comfortable, I'd say. Typically around this time of year, we want to see something 3 degrees hotter would be nice, but hey, we'll take what we can get. It was a mostly cloudy day as well, so wasn't what I would call the most exciting, but hey, here I am to boost it up a bit, why don't we? We did have some gusty winds at times from the west-northwest. It gusted up to 38 kilometers an hour, so I'd call that about moderate. Moderate is actually a great way to describe today as a whole. As for our low, that happened right at the turn of the day around midnight, and that was 10 degrees, so that is comfortable for this time of year. As for the region, it was fairly cooler for the most part in a lot of areas. Right now, we are seeing the high for the day in a lot of areas of the region as well. Fort Frances in particular, they're nice clear skies right now. They're at 23 degrees, and their humidex is making it feel a little bit warmer. They're one of the few areas that experienced a humidex factor today. A lot of places, though, feeling what you're seeing on the boards here. As Red Lake shows, they're at 17 right now. They did see some morning drizzle, and it has been mostly cloudy for most of the afternoon. Kenora, similar conditions in the sky. They're at 20 right now. They had more of a light breeze, not as gusty as we saw in Thunder Bay today. We see 19 in both Dryden and Uppsala. Dryden had some mist and periods of light rain with some cloud coverage, so they're still warming up. As for Atikokan, they're at 20, matching Nipigon at this hour. And Nipigon 20 is their high for the day. They just boosted up recently, but two areas in particular that were quite chilly before this hour was Marathon and Wawa. Wawa still only in the single digits. Their high for the day is 9. Now, it has been foggy and misty in both those areas. They are under fog advisories throughout the day today, so definitely cooler and noticeably so there. Up in Greenstone, though, just overcast skies. They did reach 19 today, but they have seen some western winds, making it a little cooler at times. And down in Sault Ste. Marie, they're at 16 right now, mostly cloudy, and they saw some mist earlier in the day as well. As for Thunder Bay tonight, we will have a low of 9. So once again, fairly comfortable temperature-wise, mainly cloudy. We do have a 60% chance of showers overnight. Local smoke could still be sensed in the air as well. And winds are expected to die down. So it will be interesting with a little bit of showers trickling in overnight tonight, Ryan. And we won't be the only ones with a chance of showers overnight. So I'll get back to you on that a little bit later.
Okay, I'll be over here on the edge of my seat.
Perfect.
Thanks a lot, Haley.
No problem.